Good evening, Facebook. I really just want to hop on here and discuss something that's on my heart and on my mind. I want to talk to those on Facebook. When I look on Facebook, rather, I see men with their mothers, women with their mothers. They're posting different pictures. It brings me to a place of sorrow, because I didn't get that opportunity with my mom like I wanted to. But what I want to deal with today really is for those of you out there that feel like you have some type of issue with your mom, whether you're a grown person, whether you're a kid, you feel like your mom is always in your business. She always want to know what you're doing on Facebook. And for you grown folks who've been holding grudges for your mom for several years, you know where she's at, you know how to contact her, but because of issues, you have found yourself just far from your mother. Hey man, listen, I got locked up in prison. Let me start by saying I grew up with the mother's love. I grew up with a mom that did what she had to do to make sure we had clothes, did what she had to do rather to make sure we ate every day, did what she had to do to make sure that we lived and it wasn't on the street. So I didn't grow up deprived. I didn't grow up neglected. That's why the Bible say train up a child while he's young. I was trained up the right way. But in my early teens, I started dealing drugs and I just started doing things and became really rebellious. Growing up as a kid, I was so full of hate. I hated everybody. I hated life. I hated God. I used to tell my mom that all the time. I hate you and God. She used to come in my room. She used to anoint me with oil and speaking in tongues. And I grew up as an atheist. I didn't believe in God. I denounced God. I denounced the devil. But I had a praying mother. My mother always took me to church because you couldn't live in her house and not go to church. And when I got a little older, when she couldn't just make me go to church, she would lock me out until she got back from church. So I just kept going to church because I didn't want to be outside. But I grew up, I was real rebellious, and our relationship became strained because I was too hard-headed. My mind was already gone in these streets. So she let me do my thing. She knew I was selling drugs. I even tried to make sure I always paid a few bills with my drug money, but she didn't want it. Long story short, getting back to having issues with your mother, I got locked up in prison. Keep in mind, it was hard for me to say I love you to anybody, but I got locked up in prison, and my mom, she came to see me. She was faithful in coming to see me. My grandfather used to drive her down to Navasota, Texas, Pack 1 unit, and she would write me letters. And in these letters and through these visitations, we began to open up to one another. And I finally was able to sit down and we talked on these visitations. And she used to always say, I love you, and I wouldn't say nothing. And she would say it back. And I was like, I love you, but I never just said it. So being in prison gave us an opportunity to kind of heal a little bit, not fully, because you can't really heal while you're locked up in prison because it could be jailhouse religion. But I gained some excitement because I wanted to get out and I wanted to just live everything that we discussed when I was in prison. And I was looking forward to that. Like, that was my hope when I came home, was to get to know my little daughter, amen, and get to know my mom and just go ahead and just live what we talked about. I was scheduled to get out February of the year I got out, and I got into a fight and they took my parole, my FI1, so I ended up getting out in May. When I got out in May, the Monday before the Friday when I was supposed to get out, I got a call from the chaplain, and the message was from my uncle, I believe, and it said that your mom is in the hospital, but don't worry, everything is good. No, it said your mom is sick, but don't worry, it'll be fine. So for 4 days, I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna get out, go to the hospital, see my mom. We're gonna just get started on everything we discussed. When I got out in Huntsville, Texas, the Walls unit, I called my grandmother. I said, grandmother, is my mama all right? She got off the phone. Then my uncle got on the phone. My uncle told me, he said, man, yeah, just get here, everything is fine. So I called the Greyhound. When I got to Houston, I told my grandfather, first of all, when I got out, I went to this little gift shop. They gave me $50. I went to the little gift shop. I bought a card and I bought some flowers. And I wanted to give those flowers to my mom, but when I got to the Greyhound, I told my grandfather, I say, Pop, take me to see my mom. And my grandfather was under the impression that, they had already told me. But that Friday I got out, my mom, she actually died. She actually died on that Monday. Nobody told me. So the day I got out, I had to go to Wiener's, and I had to go and get some clothes to wear to her wake. And so I'm telling you, if you have a problem with your mom, you never know if you got a chance to get it right. So if your mom is in your life, you need to talk to her. You need to clean everything up. You need to make sure you get it right, because it's a possibility you won't have a chance. I spent the last years of my life just really wanting my mother, just to be able to talk to her, because I don't feel like she died not knowing if I loved her. She died not knowing if she was needed in my life. So you need to talk to your mom. You need to call her. Don't inbox her. Don't leave no voicemail. You need to get in touch with your mom. You need to clean it up. All you young people on Facebook, I don't care how hard your mom is being in your life. She only wants the best for you. I don't care if your mama on crack. I don't care if she's selling her body. I don't care whatever her issue is. If you got a problem with her lifestyle, you pray that God change it, because as the song say, you can be here today, you can be gone tomorrow. You need to go call your mama.